I want to come back to Sawgrass Apartments. Not much on it other than when you spoke to Casey, did she ever tell you, other than the story she told the police, that she'd ever been to Sawgrass Apartments before?
Well, that's why I think that she had a friend there or something like that. Never came out of her mouth directly, so no, she never told me that she was there. But I think I ended up finding out like through the PI and stuff that she knew somebody that lived in that complex. So I think I could probably assume that she's been there once, but I've never heard it directly from her. So
have you ever heard of the names of in connection with Sawgrass Apartments? Annie Downing?
Not with Sawgrass, to my knowledge.
Do you know Annie Downing?
I do know Annie Downing. No, not for Sawgrass.
How do you know Annie Downing?
She went to school with my sister, same grade. I mean, my sister and I have a lot of mutual friends. I mean, we're only 3.5 years apart. So.
How old are you?
I'm 26.
And Casey is?
She's 22. She's going to be 23 here in March. So we have a lot of mutual friends. So I've known Annie for, many, many years.
Did Annie live at Sawgrass?
Not to my knowledge. I don't believe so. I thought she lived at an adjacent complex or somewhere close, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't believe she lived at Sawgrass.
What about Dante Salati? D-A-N-T-E, Salati, S-A-L-A-T-I. I've
heard the name before. Never met the person. Don't even know what.
It's a man.
Sure. I don't even know what he looks like. Yeah, I don't know, but that was probably the name that eluded me earlier, that, it was like an acquaintance or a friend or somebody that Casey knew that lived there, and that was, I think that might be him. I could be wrong on that, but I've heard that name before, and that likely is.
How'd you hear it? Where'd you hear that name?
From the PI. Because the PI Dominic would say things like, do you know such and such? Do you know such and such? Or have you heard this name? And a lot of times it was no. Because I hadn't, a lot of the Casey's friends over, well, more or less since the beginning part of this year were kind of new friends to me. Most of Casey's friends I had known for a long time, but it seems like she'd been expanding some of her friends from not just people from high school, over the past year or so.
That night, when you were at the Dragon Room and she was somewhere downtown, did you, when you later had the opportunity to question her freely in the confines of your own home or anywhere, did you ever ask her? Did Zenaida tell her to go downtown that night?
No, I never did, actually. That probably would have been a good one to ask, but no, I never asked her that one.
So we don't know if Zenaida told her to go downtown that night.
I have no idea.
What is your understanding now of everywhere she was between June 15th and July 15th? Casey, I'm sorry.
My understanding was she.
I'm talking about where she really was. We know she wasn't in Jacksonville.
Exactly.
What is your?
Exactly.
We know that. We can all agree. Where was she?
In the greater Orlando area, from more or less the UCF area over. She was staying with Anthony Lazaro, and he lives.
Tell me all the places that you now know that she was during that 30-day window.
UCF area, as far as like the Waterford Lakes area.
With who? Anthony Lazaro?
Anthony Lazaro.
Who is he?
He was a boyfriend at the time, like a new boyfriend from May. I think she met him in like February or something. I might be wrong on when she met him, but she would have gone out with him, I know, and she most of was by UCF, but I know that she had been over by like the Mall of Millennia area. She had also been.
When you say been, you staying the night?
Oh, are you trying to say stay the night? I apologize if that's what you were going for.
I didn't really. You're not. That's my bad.
Oh no, she was staying with Anthony Lazaro
the whole time.
To my knowledge, yeah, because there was the only thing in question was there is and that's coming from him. That's corroborated from him. The only other thing was he was gone for about a week in, I want to say like the first part of July, and it's not known for sure. I don't know for sure if she stayed there. I got a hunch that she did. He claims that she didn't have a key, but I'm pretty sure that she did, because I don't know where else she would have went. I couldn't figure out where else she would have went. I think she spent one night at her friend Will's house on the 4th of July, because he had a party on the 4th of July, the night of the 4th before the 5th. But to my knowledge, I think that's the only time she stayed anywhere other than during that period of time that I'm aware of.
I don't want me jumping around, but since you brought up keys, did she ever tell you how Zenaida got a key to the house? First of all, let me rephrase.
Right. Because I was like, we got a part ahead of that.
Did she ever tell you that she had given Zenaida, or that Zenaida had a key to your parents' home?
She never told me specifically, but I did hear my sister, mention it before, like to my folks or to my dad, that, same question. Well, how did she get in the house? Well, Mom, I had given her a key a long time ago, and that was the extent of that.
Did she have different sets of keys, or did she have one made for her? Or
I would assume she would have had one made. I don't know. I mean, that's the most that I've ever even heard of that whole scenario.
But Casey had a key to the house. Obviously, she lived there.
Right.
But she then told your mom. You heard her tell your mom, "I gave Zenaida a key to the house."
And
what did your mom say when she heard that?
I don't think she thought it was too out of the realm of, was too crazy, if because she had been babysitting. If she had been babysitting Caylee, that seemed reasonable, I guess, to her. I don't know. I mean, that's probably a good question for her.
Your mom say, but we never met her.
Yeah, I've never. To my knowledge, my folks had never heard the name Zenaida and all that.
When you heard her telling, "Hey, Mom, I gave her a key to the house," did your mom say? What did your mom say? Hey, we never. Did your mom say anything like, "How can that be?"
If she did, I don't remember what the content was. I really don't know. That's a better question for her, probably.
I want to do just a little bit of cleanup here. Well, first of all, let me get some easy things out of the way for you. Have you ever spoken to the media about Zenaida Gonzales?
Absolutely. Gave her a description, all that great stuff.
How many times do you think you spoke to the media about that?
Half a dozen times or more.
Okay.
I mean, on different days. I mean, it would be each station. You kind of have to redo it each time. When you spoke to the media about Zenaida, have you ever told any of them about the abduction? How it happened? Of what my sister told me about J. Blanchard Park. Either which way, when you've spoken to the media about Zenaida Gonzales? I did use Sawgrass while that was the story, until I got the right story, or what I believe now is the right story for my sister. I had always provided the Sawgrass story, because that's the story that I had, which is a story. Have you ever until today told anyone in the media about Blanchard Park? Nope. Have you ever told anyone before today about the story of Blanchard Park? Excluding your lawyer. Excluding your lawyer, I'm sorry. Yes. Who have you told that to? Sadly, Leonard Padilla. I say sadly because I hate him. Our private investigator, Dominic Casey. Obviously, talked to my folks. You're the one that she told about. Okay, yeah. Anyone else? I don't think it ever really came up in conversation with Mr. Baez, but within that tight circle is what it would have been. I mean, that has not been common knowledge. Mallory would know. My girlfriend Mallory would know. but I don't believe it would have been out of that tight circle until now.
Have you ever told the police about Blanchard Park?
No.